bunch of BS, but that's what gives the media the cover, so they can lie and say we're not being censored, even though we're clearly being censored. I mean, when you have terrorists operating on social media, terrorist recruiting on social media, I mean, heck, you can go on social media and watch porn.
Yeah.
You can watch porn on these things, but you can't watch Alex Jones. I mean, and then they say, oh, it's because of hate or violence. No, it's not. It's 100% politics. I mean, do they think America's going to believe their bull when they act like it's not political?
Exactly. You know, Jack Dorsey, when he was on Joe Rogan, and they asked him, is porn allowed on Twitter? And he hesitated to answer the question. And then he finally answered it and said, yes. But Alex Jones, you just made me think about it. Alex Jones is not allowed, but porn is.
So yeah, so I wonder though, what if you made a porno, because we sell the mask at InfoWarsStore.com, an Alex Jones mask. You put the Alex Jones mask on, and then you make a porno. Do you think you'd be banned for that? Do you think that'll fly?
You know, that's a good question.
I think we need to give that a go.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure someone out there will be willing to volunteer for that.
Is there anyone in the audience that wants to volunteer? You won't be on record. You'll be in the Alex Jones mask. Oh my gosh, Will, do you know what happened? We just forgot the most important part of this broadcast. Uh-oh. All right, folks, here's the deal. We just blew this. We may get kicked off for this, but we should have done this immediately. I disavow Alex Jones.
Oh.
I disavow and I condemn. He's a bad man. But even though he's clearly the worst, and do you condemn? Do you say you condemn?
You know, the couple of days I've been here...
You can only be broadcasting if you condemn.
Only the couple of days I've been here visiting InfoWars, Alex Jones is a bad man. Such a bad man.
He must be stopped.
He must be stopped.
But even though we even though we fully condemn Alex Jones and we fully condemn InfoWars, we still believe he has the right to free speech.
Yeah, absolutely.
We still believe that you should not be censoring Alex Jones. Don't censor me, bro. Don't censor me, bro. And you know, here the amazing thing too, Will, is I don't even think that we can. It's hard for me to actually accept this consciously, and that's that we were so right, and Drudge was so right about the censorship that was coming. It's almost like, you know, we skip over the fact that, hey, we told you this was happening. Like, we told you the censorship was coming. We told you the censorship of conservatives would just be the beginning. We told you that InfoWars was the breaking point.
Right.
And it's just like, it kind of just gets washed away in the flood of everybody reporting on the censorship, the fact that, no, we knew this was coming. This was in the works.
Yeah, you know what? They after the 2016 election, when Google had their meeting talking about, we need to figure out how we can stop something like that happening again. We need to figure out how we can stop President Trump from becoming president in 2020. So Google had a meeting. The people in Google had a meeting. Why would Google have a meeting about the election in the United States of America? So they have this whole agenda about how to shut down President Trump. This is a U.S.-based company trying to figure out how to shut down the president of the United States. When the president hasn't done anything wrong, he's actually, you know what? Since I've been speaking out, and I come to realize that the main reason, I truly believe this, the main reason why they want to shut down President Trump is because he's doing right by America. Specifically, he's doing right by black people. You know, he doesn't come out and specifically address his concerns for black people because President Trump, his concerns are for the American people. But see, black people are benefiting, and they can't have that. See, the Democrats, they'll come out and they'll say, oh yeah, we're for black people, for minorities, we're for this, we're for that. But then as soon as President Trump does something for all Americans and black people benefit like never before, that is the major problem.
Yeah, remember they all sat when President Trump said during the State of the Union, we have the lowest unemployment, we have the lowest African-American unemployment, we have the lowest Hispanic unemployment, we have the lowest female unemployment. They all sat and scoffed. They balked at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? In the state of California, right now, for the primary, they have removed President Trump's name from the ballot, saying that...
And didn't they just write some law so they could do that?
Yeah, they said if you do not hand over your taxes, your tax returns, that we have every right to remove you from the ballot.
And this is something they just put into law in California, specifically to keep Trump off the ballot.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're going to do when the presidential election comes. I mean, are they going to leave Trump off the ballot? I mean, I don't think he's going to win California anyway.
For the primary, to my understanding, it's the primary. So he's not going to be on the primary ballot. But, I mean, you can't not allow people to vote in an election for the person that they want to, right? I mean, is that even possible? Are they going to do the same thing for the general election? Because my understanding, it's just for the primary. But, I mean, what's to stop them from doing the general election? I mean, they've already gone this far. What's to stop them from going even further?
Well, and another thing that they don't really talk about, we're seeing all these polls. All these polls are coming out right now that have, like, everyone beating Trump. Buttigieg and Biden and Sanders. Apparently all these people are somehow beating Trump, even though none of them can fill a high school gymnasium.
Yeah,
and Trump has professional arenas, with lines out the door.
I saw that.
But here's an election meddling for you, Will, that people don't really talk about. Here's an election meddling that people just don't really talk about, and that is fake polls. Fake polls. You have polls out where Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg, who? Nobody knows this guy, and apparently he's polling ahead of Donald Trump, the president of the United States, the billionaire, the celebrity. I mean, that is a joke. And the fact that anybody could even believe that is a real poll coming out of CBS and CNN is amazing. But that's what they do. That is a fake poll that they intentionally put out to meddle in elections.
You would think after the 2016 election that they would stop doing these fake polls and try to put out more accurate information.
Yeah, like the Clinton poll, remember? Clinton,
99%. 99% Clinton to win. 99%, and then that night it went down to 98%, and then 96%. Even when it was obvious that she was going to lose, she was still in the 90s until it just fell flat on its face. They keep putting out this fake information trying to get people to believe it. See, if they saying that, you know what, they're putting out the fake information. Hey, conservatives, don't even go out and vote because Trump can't win, because Pete Buttigieg is going to beat out President Trump. Even Biden will beat out President Trump.
Yeah, Trump's so unpopular. This guy nobody's ever heard of, Pete Buttigieg, is beating him.
Exactly. So they're saying conservatives, don't go out and vote. We just only need liberals to go out and vote.
Yeah, Trump's losing. He's not winning.
But you know what? It's going to backfire on them again, just like it did in 2016. Because right now, look at this picture. You have a black man and a white man out here with MAGA hats on, supporting the sitting president of the United States. And that's the biggest fear. That's the biggest fear, what they see right now on the screen. The liberals, these leftists, they cannot stand the fact that we're getting along, that we're talking about something positive. We're talking about the same president that we support. That is a nightmare to them.
Yeah, they keep trying to divide America, but the optics keep failing them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the reason why.
So they censor it.
Oh, yeah, of course they censor it. They have to. I mean, they have to. They cannot allow this to keep going and being spread like this. There's nothing wrong with what we're doing here. We're having a decent conversation. We're not harassing anybody.
No, but they'll say, oh, that hat is racist, or that hat is KKK.
Yeah, or that hat is inciting violence.
Yeah.
I mean, the hat's just sitting on my head. It hadn't done anything. Maybe it was a point.
Uh-oh, do we need hat control?
Hat control.
We need hat control immediately. Somebody get this hat under control.
Exactly. Before it
Hold on a second. Wait a second now. Hold on. Wait now. Now look at this hat here. This hat might go rogue.
It's gonna.
This hat could go rogue at any moment. Look at that. Look at the violence. Look at the violence that hat is invoking right there. Look at the rage. Look at the hate just coming off the hat right there.
I'm waiting for it to get up and start chopping
someone. Oh my gosh, I thought it jumped at me. Okay, all right, it's under control. All right, we've got hat control now. Hold on. Here's hat control.
The hat.
There's hat control right there. We've got this crazy rogue hat under control. So there you go.
Wow.
No, I mean that's the argument they make. That's the argument they make, is that it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
You incited the violence.
Yeah, you incited the violence when you decided to wear that hat out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, so they say, oh, it's your fault. You decided to wear that hat out. And then you say, well, wait a second. CNN is the one saying we're racist. CNN is the one demonizing us. Maybe it's CNN's fault that all this violence is happening.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Of course, CNN, the Communist News Network. That's their goal, to demonize.
The Clown News Network.
Clown News Network.
Yeah.
Criminal News Network.
Clinton News Network?
Clinton News Network.
Communist News Network.
Yes.
All right, what else? Come on, we can keep going with this.
Cunt News Network.
Oh, you stole it. That's it. That's it. Shut it down. Shut it down now. All right, so we're getting rained on.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
It's raining out here. Liberal tier.
More campus. Is that what's happening right now?
Liberal tier.
Are liberal tiers raining down on us right now?
Yeah.
What a shame. What a shame. I wish I had my mug. I can fill my mug with the liberal tears right now.
You know, let me say this. A lot of times when I go out to different places and I'm wearing my MAGA hat, it's pretty rare to get people to say something. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, when I'm in California, I have my wingman, Ben Bergeron, he's white, so he'll be off by himself saying something, and they'll attack him because he's a white
They'll all
male.
go after him.
And I think because you're standing here with me, it's almost like kryptonite. I can't get close.
Yeah, they can't call me a racist.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no, that's it. That's it. They normally they would just run up to me and call me a racist, but they can't now.
Yeah, it's like, what is he doing? He's there with a black man.
Darn it. He's beat the system.
He's there with a black
He's
man.
hacked the matrix. Hey, so it looks like the rain is starting to cease. Let's take a little bit of a walk here. Let me show you around. Let me show you around some other parts of campus here. We're on UT's campus today.
We're in UT campus. Let's have a conversation. You know, didn't President Trump pass a law for free speech or do executive order for free speech on campus?
Yes, he did. He did do an executive order of it because he saw again. You don't have liberal progressive Democrat speakers getting banned from college campuses, students rioting when they go and show up. No, that only happens when conservatives show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that? Again, whose fault would that be? Who would you blame for all the violence in that case?
Alex Jones?
Oh, next year we condemn
We have
Alex
to
Jones.
condemn Alex Jones.
I would say I'm looking right at CNN, ABC,
Yeah,
Washington
of course.
Post, New York Times.
The Alphabet Network super.
The Alphabet Network soup group, who says all. That's the thing. It's like they continue to lie about the president of the United States. Violence happens with supporters, and then they go out and censor us for violence. I mean, it's clown world. It's literally clown world.
Yeah, it is. So maybe we need to do an experiment here.
Yeah.
Just to maybe blow my theory out of the water.
Oh, okay.
You know, with me standing here
I know
with
where
you,
you're going.
maybe if I go off to the side and act like I'm not with you and no one can see me, you're just doing your thing.
Okay.
It's almost like you're the bait.
Well, here's what we can do.
You're the bait.
Yeah. What we can do is, because there might be an area of campus that's actually more busy. If we go right down there,
Okay.
where everybody might be walking, and so you could like stand at one end, and I could stand at the other, and we can just see if people yell at me or yell at you. If you really want to test this theory.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see if we get a. It's like fishing.
I mean, mostly, I would say we've seen nothing but either neutrality or people just head nodding, giving us thumbs up, taking us pictures. I haven't seen anything
There's been a
negative
few of those, yeah.
Yeah.
But no one. I haven't heard anyone call you a white supremacist or call us a white supremacist.
But we could test that theory of yours by splitting up.
Yeah, let's just do it and see. Oh,
There we go.
Really?
There's some tolerance.
And you're the biggest one.
There's some. Yeah, the guy who calls us
I
a
know.
jerk off and then runs away.
He got his headphones on so he can't hear us.
What a nice guy.
See, that's how it is.
So there you go.
Wow, you know,
That's nice.
Okay.
Isn't that nice?
Well,
that guy was so kind.
he
That
just
guy was
helped
so-
us with our theory. It just blew it out the water. We're
That's
just
true. He may have just shut the theory down.
Yeah. But
Right, but we can
he
still
didn't
test
have.
it.
Yeah, he had headphones on so he couldn't hear a response. So
Yeah, he just had to
he
throw a
felt
few.
safe.
Yeah, he had to throw a few insults out there from his safe space.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over here. I think there's a more busy place where we can probably test your theory.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Maybe a little more.
So, for everyone who's watching, we're in UT right now, and the purpose is just to, we're out here wearing our mega hats, freedom in America, right? We just had one person the entire time we've been out here, and it's been, 20 minutes. So within 20 minutes, we had one negative comment, and I was telling him that it's probably because we're standing together that they're not, really attacking him. But he couldn't hear anything we were saying. He had his headphones on, so he could just make his comment, and he just keep walking because he got music or whatever. But anyways, we're out here just at UT, and I guess it's Austin, Texas, or University, Texas. So it's pretty interesting. Some of the looks. And for those of you who don't know, I'm here with Owen Shorter from Infowars.com. It's a pretty large campus. And this is a free campus. Oh yeah. Hey, I want to thank everybody for the donations too. So much. So we're purposely not like engaging with anyone, because if we engage with them, they can turn around and say that we are harassing them. And see, just wearing a MAGA hat is enough already for them to say they're harassing us, because that's how liberals do. Right? So instead of us engaging with them, we've been sitting on the corner just having a conversation with the two of us, and people walk by and they're like listening. Some people stop just to hear what we're saying. But we're purposely not engaging, because once you engage, then they can say, oh, he's harassing me. He said something to me. I'm a liberal tard and I can't help it. Okay, I didn't mean to call them liberal tards, but I'm a liberal and I can't help it. I don't like what he's saying to me. So we're purposely not saying anything to them, just to each other. I really want to ask some questions, but Owen's been here so much that when he starts just engaging and asking people questions, then someone gets out of hand, they call the cops because he's asking questions. And just because he's asking questions in America is considered harassment, But if we're just walking around with our MAGA hats on and we're not engaging with them, what can they say? And once again, I want to thank you so much for the donation. See what happens here.
Well, what do you think about UT's campus, man?
It's pretty large. Pretty large.
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Looks like the sun might come out for us even here.
Yeah. A little sprinkle.
Nothing wrong with a little
sprinkle.
Tears.
Yeah. Liberal tears fall down.
So
but the humidity. See, after living in California for some years and then come to Texas, the humidity is pretty high. It's not that bad though. You only feel like you're swimming in air. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I'm kidding. It's not that bad. Yeah, no, it's not. So we're walking over to another section where there's supposedly more high traffic area. We'll see if we get some attention. They have one. It's like fishing. You get a nibble here, a nibble there, and then you get someone bite, and then he gets away. But we'll see here. I just don't want any of them to be violent. Just don't be violent. So, I have two hats. I brought both of my MAGA hats with me. I have the black one and I have the red one. I was debating, should I wear the black one, but no. when you wear the red one, they almost, it's like they get the red in their eyes. And when they see the red, just mega, they go, it's almost sometimes like they go rabid. I noticed the difference between wearing the red hat and the black hat. The red one, they just automatically just, maybe because that's the one that Trump was holding the most, was the red one, right? Almost like bulls. See that red? Oh wow! I'll stand on this side over there.
Here, why don't you take this and just shoot a report or two. Just have him shoot a little report. Just like shoot a little report on the censorship that's happening. You know, right over there. See if anybody attacks you.
Okay.
And I'll be over here. All right.
All right.
All right, son.
Wow, there's a lot of people on this street, this strip right here. I guess if you're gonna do it, this is where it's at, huh? All right, you know what? I'm gonna stand right out here in the middle of it. I'm gonna go right here in the middle. All right. All right. My name is Will Johnson from UnitedAmericaFirst.com. I'm out here at UT, just observing the campus here. I'm in my mega hat, and there's a lot of people here. What was amazing to me is that when I came here, I had no idea that Texas was such a, Texas. They always say don't mess with Texas, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, no one's messing with Texas. But I came to Austin, and Austin is just like San Francisco in some parts, and San Jose. It is San Francisco .2. The homelessness, the poverty, the liberalism has affected so many people here. It is remarkable to see it take place like this. The virus that has affected so many people in this country, in this city, is just remarkable. You would never think that in Texas, of all places, that the liberalism would be affecting so many people the way they are. But we're seeing it firsthand. This is the United States of America, and the liberalism is just on a rampage. If you want to talk about vaccines, they need to come up with a vaccine for liberalism. If they came up with a vaccine for liberalism, I guarantee the left will be fighting vaccines at that point. It's remarkable. So let's talk about the censorship. The censorship that's taking place in America right now, they want to censor people for their freedom of speech. They've completely just disregarded Alex Jones, and they're removing him on these platforms because they don't like him waking people up. That's the magic thing here. He's getting to too many people. He's waking people up, and people are starting to pay attention to this whole tyrannical movement that's coming from the left. And the censorship has to stop. So I'm calling President Trump. Please, President Trump, if you see this video, we're begging you. We are begging you. Not just asking, we're begging you to put an end to this senseless censorship. They are taking away our freedoms. The First Amendment no longer applies when the left believes that they have control over us. They want to shut us down. They don't care what we're saying. They don't care that we have freedom. They want to take the freedoms away. They don't want us to have freedom of speech. They don't want us to say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. They don't want us to say that we're against the LGBT. I should be able to say that if I want to. I don't have to go along with it. There's nothing, no written law said that I have to go along with their ideology. There's no written law that says that I have to be silent. The laws on the book right now say I have the freedom to say what I want to say. My name is Will Johnson, UnitedAmericaFirst.com, reporting for Infowars.com. All right. So I'm just standing here in the middle. This is like standing here in the Matrix. People just walking by, and just looking. And, for the most part, me being a black male. All right. Appreciate it. See, they say keep it up, guys. They don't know how to react. They don't know how to react. It's just like the Matrix. I'm here to hand out the red pill. But a lot of them don't want it. Some of them already had it. I just walked by. I'm walking right down the middle of this strip. There's hundreds of people here. You too. Dude told me I was number one. Okay. He didn't say anything to me, but told me I'm number one. I must be doing my job. There's a white guy too. Okay. So what we did, I'm here with Owen Shorter from Infowars.com, and I just did a small report there that's talking about censorship and what's going on. So now I'm headed down here with Owen. The reason why we split up, because a lot of times, you know, because I'm a black male with dreadlocks, they don't say too much to me. I get that a lot of places when I go. They look at me, but they don't say anything. I just had one guy tell me I'm number one, but that's it. And so we're testing the theory out to see if they started calling him racist or whatever. So we're walking down here now to see if they're engaging with him. Because we're not here to engage with people, we're just here to talk and to show our patriotism, right? So we're looking for Owen now. I don't see him. It's not hard to see him, or it won't be hard to spot him out, because there's no red hats here, other than the ones we have on. Way down here. So because I don't give in to the hate, because I don't give in to all the stuff that they don't really give into, it's a difference. No? No, I had one guy tell me I'm number one.
Number one?
Yeah, he said I was number one, and he kept walking.
Okay. Hey, well, let's walk together now. So, I was just talking about how they act like it's a victory to censor Infowars. Like, oh, we censored Infowars. We censored Alex Jones. We beat them. No, that's just not even allowing us on the playing field. That's like, you know, if you're playing football and the opposing team is kicked out of the game, and then you say, oh, I beat the opposing team. No, there was no competition.
Exactly. You know what? They want to be able to say all of these lies about Alex Jones and then turn around and make it to where he cannot reply, where he can't respond to it. You know? So then that way it must be true, because he's not saying otherwise. Right?
Or they'll be like, you know, Alex said this about that, or you did this, or where's that video? And it's like, oh, I have it on the, oh, they banned my YouTube channel. Oh, they deleted all of our videos.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can't even go back and play what we said because they erased us off the internet.
Yeah. I mean, but that's just it. You know, they lie, but then you can't prove otherwise. What they're saying is a lie. I mean, it's a tactic. It's a war tactic. Break down the communication.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you flash the symbol? The secret symbol? Did you flash it? I gave it to him. He's gonna tag me as a Nazi tonight. No, I think that the Trump hate for most sane people is kind of worn thin, and I just think that most people have realized how bad they look when they engage in this political hatred and violence, and then they kind of think about it and they realize how ignorant they are on the issues.
Yeah. Well, when they're exposed on how ignorant they are, they ignore it. They move on. You know. So, for example, like the whole Russia collusion delusion, all of them are exposed. So now they have to make up more lies to make it look like they're still on track.
No, I think that's
it's it.
They lie so big.
They have to tell another lie. You can't. Yeah. The lies are so huge that you have to make another lie to cover up the last lie, and it has to be bigger than the last lie.
And people read it and they're like, well, there's no way they could lie about that, right?
Exactly.
Like, there's no way they could tell.
That's just too big.
Yeah, there's no way they could tell that big of a whopper. Where even people that I know and respect, will read a story. She just made a vomit noise. Did you hear
What
that?
was that?
What was that? That was just a strange animal. Anyway, they that was so distracting.
I know.
Like, who makes that kind of noise? I wonder if you guys heard that. It was like a weird vomit.
Yeah, it sounded like a demonic thing. Maybe she's gonna vomit up and spin her head around in circles a couple times.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Exorcism.
Yeah.
She probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that exorcists are actually meeting today to try to figure out how to defeat Satan? No, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Expert exorcists are meeting today to try to defeat Satan.
The camera.
That's the same guy.
Is that the same guy?
That's the same guy. Yeah.
He came back for more, huh?
Put the headphones on. We call them walk by.
He came back for more.
Walk by talkers. They have nothing to say, nothing value to say, so they do the walk by instead of a drive by. It's a walk by.
It's kind of it's like a political free speech drive by. Like, screw you, race. And then just walk away.
Yeah. I'm gonna say something to you, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to hear what you have to say because my feelings might get hurt. You might tell me the truth.
Hollywood told me to hate Trump, so you must be bad. Because I trust Hollywood and the corporate news complex to tell me what to think. And if they say Alex Jones is bad, then I'll listen to them.
Alex Jones must be bad.
I condemn Alex Jones.
He's a bad, bad man.
Alex Jones stands up for free speech and the Second Amendment. That commie scum. Can you believe him?
How dare he stand up for freedom of speech? What is wrong with him?
How dare Alex Jones support the president?
No more freedom for anybody. No more freedom of speech unless you're a liberal. That's the only way you have freedom of speech. If you're a conservative, no freedom of speech for you.
There's no such thing as a conservative. Only a racist bigot.
Yeah. No freedom of speech. Liberals, we have it right. We have all the ideas. We know how everything should be.
Yeah, just let Mark Zuckerberg run your life. I think I want Zuckerberg to just run my life. I think you should tell me what to think and say. It's Mark Zuckerberg, don't you?
Yeah, you know what? You have to be careful because Mark Zuckerberg will pin you down and do other things to you.
Oh, well, Mark Zuckerberg's rejected me. He already had his way with me. You know what I'm saying? He used and abused me. I was like a cheap hooker for Zuckerberg. I was in and out. He didn't even pay me either.
Yeah, it's really sad that they take advantage of so many innocent people and then just throw you away because they're tired of you, because they don't like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because you have freedom. We got to get rid of you. Your freedom's got to go away.
Hey, Drew.
All right. This is a huge campus. All right.
You come with me.
I'm still waiting for the crazies.
They're dormant.
They're dormant. It's just like fishing. You put the bait out there, and they nibble, and then after a while they'll start biting.
So, we got a major First Amendment issue happening in this country right now with free speech. Now, my guess is that probably most of these students, I would say probably fair to guess 90% of these students have a social media account of some sort. But
Oh, yeah.
if I started making a big deal out of the censorship happening, out of free speech under attack here, it would be like a non-issue. They wouldn't even care. They wouldn't even know about it. And I'm just kind of stunned by that because this is a college campus considered a bastion of free speech. All of these students probably have social media and use it every day. How is this not a big discussion on a college campus? I bet they have no idea this is happening. I'm shocked. This should be a main story, a main talking point on college campuses today. Don't you agree?
I completely agree. I mean, these people don't even have a clue that their freedoms are about to go away. And a lot of them, like you said, I guarantee. I mean, I could not imagine that not a single one of them have social media presence. Maybe one or two, out of the thousands, but it's pretty rare. But it should be at the top of the list. The censorship that's taking place should be the number one topic on the campus. Why they were talking about something else will be beyond me, because they're going to school here. They're going to go out to the workforce just to find out that the workforce is going to control them and own them and not allow them to say anything that they want. So no, this is the rules. It's almost like a communist country. It's like it's becoming communist more.
Well, that is the social credit score that they have in communist China.
Yeah,
And that's the thing too, because it doesn't stop at social media censorship. They want to get into your phone. They want to control what comes on your phone. I mean, it's total control.
Yeah, it is total control. They want to control what you think, how you feel, what you believe, your health care. They want to control every aspect of our lives. And because you have people like Alex Jones pushing back against that, you have people like us pushing back against that, they're wanting to make us enemy of the state. That's what it comes down to. They want to make us enemy of the state. Like we're not tolerant. Because we want freedom of speech, we're not tolerant? Seriously? Because I come out here and I'm wearing a mega hat. I've been told sometimes when I'm standing out on the corner holding the American flag that I'm inciting violence for holding the American flag on American soil. What's wrong with these people? It's crazy.
Well, and it starts with Alex Jones, and they don't understand how eventually he becomes that. And they don't understand how eventually it's like right now, conservatives are just being disappeared on social media, right? Like right now, it's like, oh, a conservative just disappears on social media. Soon it'll be, oh, a conservative just disappeared. Alex Jones just gone.
Yeah, he just went away. Do you remember the guy? His name was something Jones. He was doing something. He was a bad man.
He was a bad man. He liked free speech.
Yeah, he wanted everyone to have freedom. He loved humanity. So we had to get rid of him because he was disrupting the whole agenda that we want to have to destroy humanity. And because he loved people, they had to get rid of him because he didn't want to do like these leftist, Democrats, socialists, communists and destroy people's lives.
Can you believe InfoWars will want to self-fund and they have an audience that buys products like air filters and water filters, even though mainline studies say that the air and the water have carcinogens in them and lead and glyphosates? Can you believe Alex Jones would warn you about poisons in the air and water and then try to sell you something to stop you from breathing and drinking that? Can you believe that, man?
You know what? Shame on him for trying to live the American dream. That's it. Shame on him for trying to live the American dream. Shame on any of you for trying to live the American dream. What is wrong with you? Do you realize you trying to live the American dream goes against the whole narrative? Think about that. Think about that. So what? He sells filters that actually work. He sells products that actually benefit humanity, and that is a problem? See, let's talk about vaccines. Oh, get your vaccine. They're so good for you. Get your vaccine. They're so good. See, they might even ban me because, no, they're not going to ban me because I'm saying vaccines are good. Vaccines are real good.
No injury course.
No injury. They're real good. Get your vaccine today. They're going to help you out. They're going to make you feel powerful.
By the way, I'm anti-fascist, but somehow I want forced vaccinations, even though that's the definition of fascist.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. One thing that people send me messages say they got banned off of social media platforms if they talk about where the measles are coming from. Now I had to hear them where they're coming from. If you talk about where they're coming from, yes, if you mention that, people are getting banned on social media because they're telling the truth. Not because they're trying to fearmonger, just telling the truth, and it's a problem.
So this is what they're censoring. But I think the American dream is to just exist on Facebook. That's the real American dream, just to exist on Facebook. So whatever you got to do to exist on Facebook, do it. Turn in your guns. Don't talk about Alex Jones unless you condemn him, and then you can exist on Facebook. That's the American dream.
Make your new cat video. Make your new cat video.
Do a nice cool edit.
Yeah, do a nice cool edit where your cat is just running around,
You
chasing
could doctor
his
it.
tail. Yeah, chasing his tail.
It's okay to doctor a cat video.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine then. It's
Yeah,
okay. Meow.
Boy, don't make a monkey noise now.
Oh yeah.
No,
Well,
no.
you know what it is? If I say black people are not monkeys, they will ban me. If
You got banned for that. You literally got
if
banned.
I say they're not monkeys, see, Democrats, they can call us that all day. They associate us with apes, but if I say that we're not, and that's the problem.
And I mean, it's another instance because I would imagine that the most racism you've ever seen is coming from Democrats.
When I was considering myself a Democrat and I had conversations with conservatives, I never experienced the hate when I had conversations. We go back and forth in debate about just different various things about, being a Democrat. When I became a conservative, my eyes woke up. That's when all the hate started rolling in, all the racist comments, the remarks, the death threats, when I became a conservative. Not when I considered myself a Democrat. So if you want a safe place, tell everybody you're a Democrat.
Well, I was going to say though, but if all these people out here in the victim economy, I mean, if you want to really invest for the future in the victim economy, just declare yourself a Trump supporter and a conservative, and you'll be stashing up big bank for the victim economy soon.
Exactly. Exactly.
Our victimhood is very low in value right now, but the currency market can change on a dime.
Absolutely. The gender changes on a dime.
Exactly.
I mean, if your gender changes on a dime, they change everything else on a dime.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back down here.
All right.
I think we might have to do a little bit. Before we sign off here, we might have to do a little more. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I got you. We kind of did a little bit on the way up here.
I think I got this itch in my throat. Will, I got this itch in my throat. I can't really get it unless I scream at the top of my lungs.
You gotta get it out.
Yeah.
You know what? I like to say you gotta get off your chest.
I do. I have something
You gotta get off your chest.
You know what I decided? Everybody talks about, they talk about wearing their heart on their sleeve. I feel like, we don't have to wear our heart on our sleeve. Our heart, it just beats out of our chest.
Yeah.
People just see it beating out of our chest. So,
Boom, boom.
yeah.
Red-blooded
so we don't even
Americans.
have to put it on our sleeve. It's just beating out of our chest.
Red-blooded Americans.
But here's the deal. I got this scratch, this lump in my throat or something. I don't know. It must be from the allergies here, the pollen. But I'm going to have to probably scream something like free Alex Jones, Infowars.com when I get to the bottom of this area down here. So
Well, I'll follow your lead.
to let you know.
I'll follow your lead. I'm a guest in your city, so you show me the ropes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that for you. We'll show you the ropes. I wonder what people are saying on the screen. See, my phone is on.
Thank you so much for the donation. Because of you, I'm able to be here. Yeah. Walking right down the middle of this. You know what? If we were in California, we would have had a lot more.
Yeah, tell me the difference. If we would have done this at Berkeley,
oh yeah.
what would it have been like?
You know what? I plan on going to Berkeley doing this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I plan on going to Berkeley, wearing my mega hat, just walking around.
Yeah.
It'll be completely different. Because see,
It'll be just nonstop.
see, what's happened is the liberal virus, it is migrating throughout the country, throughout the world. But the liberal virus in California is so bad that the infection has consumed the people so much that they can't help themselves. It's like you walk
It's like
by
a horde
them.
of zombies that eat brains.
No, the demonic demons. This rage in them comes out, and they feel that they have to be violent towards someone who wants freedoms, someone who wants freedom of speech. And then they try to laugh at you like you're the one that's inciting violence because you want your freedoms. Are you crazy? Are you insane that you absolutely want freedom? This country's not for freedom. That's what they come out of their minds and their mouths. They're demonic demons. This spiritual battle that we're seeing is a real thing. It's remarkable.
I agree. And the crazy thing is, it's all about wearing the hat somehow.
Mercy,
This
you're
is real,
mainstream
okay?
now.
Okay, but let's tell me how the connection between aliens and the Nazis took place. When did all this start?
Let me begin. This is really, I'm telling you, Joe, this is a real deal.
I believe you.
This is, you ask, who are they? It's people who are psychically, genetically available to interface in this incredibly diverse universe with all these dimensions above and below and all around us with consciousnesses. And the truth is, no energy is ever destroyed. It all continues on. The truth is, our bodies, this is a fact, are a communal hive organism of all of our ancestors and all of their race memories, but not in just some compressed epigenetic system. It's beyond that. It's an electrochemical antenna, they've proven this, that connects to higher and lower dimensions. So our bodysuit, because our predecessors wouldn't put us in a position without giving us a bodysuit that is them. Our families are loving us. They're holding us. They're wrapped all around us. Their strength, their will, their bad, their good, their sins, the good things they did, the battles they won, the battles they lost, the woman they loved, the man they loved. It's all in us. All these people. It's why we're able to look into so many things and have so many different experiences. And so all the shaman, all the ancient religions, everybody says there are the good ones and there are the bad ones. And people are interfacing. So you say, where does it begin? From the Tibetans to the Mesoamericans to the Egyptians to the Druids to every ancient society describes the same thing. There are bad things that look like elves that have horns when they show you who they really are. And there are good things, but they don't contact you unless you contact them. And then they're almost not even concerned with what you're doing. I never bought into this, looked into it. But then I began to think about, what did I hear when I was a kid? What did I see? What was coming out in government documents? What was being admitted? When I read all these books about World War II and the Nazis and Hitler obsessed with the Dalai Lama and the Tibetans and what they were able to do without drugs to interface with this, and all the rituals they would do and how they would believe that beyond the ether, like at Skull and Bones, it's a German death cult, they do rituals and take drugs to talk to the goddesses. Well, they're just appearing as, sexy, beautiful women. It's whatever you want as these spirit guides, because lower entities will come in and violate your free will. God and his angels, which are below him, will not get involved in your everyday life. They will not manipulate your free will unless you ask them in. But then the devil masquerades as an angel of light. So we're on this planet, the third dimension, which is a launch pad to all the other dimensions below and above. The third dimension, all the mathematics shows, is the primal sea of where all this happens. The Earth's like an egg, and we've got all this potentiality. And God will send out a transmission for a larger plan, but evil's willing to come in, and what does it say? Demoralize, get rid of children, don't have kids, humans are bad, we'll be better once you're all gone. And it's because it's their operational mission for whatever reason that we'll understand later what's going on. So the Nazis, if you get the deep literature, they believed they were basically seancing and being possessed by entities that, it was before the Nazis, for whatever reason it was the Germans that this happened to, and the Swiss. Like, they didn't discover LSD in the 30s. These people were running the psychology departments. They were interfacing with the occult. They were involved in all this crazy stuff. And it was all about their power and how great they were going to be. And the Germans were seduced. And they were seduced because they had high IQs, but more than that, they were psychically connected to each other and would work like robots. The Chinese and the EU want robots to replace us because they'll follow orders. And the Chinese are very conscious when they're conscious, but they're also very robotic. But the Germans are just as robotic. So this entity system picked Germans as its attempt, even in World War I, World War II, and it was manipulating the Brits as well, and offering them technologies, but two different paths. One was social control and all this other stuff with the Brits. The other was high-tech weapons, systems, interdimensional with the Germans. And so whoever these players are, you can dial into it. It's very dangerous. They're manipulating the British arm versus the German arm. And then they've got the Chinese arm that's almost seen as like their robot army. And so when you study it, the globalists go to these events and they take bigger and bigger doses of drugs. They do electroshock. If you go back to Owners of Timeline books, didn't work just in the 20s, 30s, and the LSD and other hallucinogens. And Apothecary, they were doing electroshock. They were having people turn their heart off to try to communicate with these things to try to be dominant and get that. So you go back thousands of years, Merlin, the archetypal or these magicians or these wizards are taking drugs in these temples and interfacing with these palantirs, these crystal balls, which aren't really crystal balls. It's their psychic focus of an interdimensional connection while they're on drugs looking into glass to then be able to see the future and understand what's happening to give them temporal power over this planet. But like the Bible tells you, any pharmakia or any of that always leads to destruction because only evil is going to come through that way. So we're basically have these light sockets. We can't jack into the higher unless it's our free will, and that takes time. We jack in to the evil. So you can jack into evil, you can't jack into good right away. So it's quicker, it's easier, like Yoda says about Darth Vader. Quicker, easier, more seductive. And so then I remember being a kid, and my parents, they don't really get mad about this, whatever. They didn't even know what they were hearing at the time. But they had friends that they knew at UT that were involved in research projects. And then they were, and 9 times out of 10, I heard about research projects in San Francisco. UT has some, MIT has a lot, and shot me anytime you want. But this was in like the 60s. They had virtual reality gloves where you'd put them on and put goggles on, and you'd go into stuff that looked like the holodeck from Star Trek 20 years before it existed. And they were doing surgeries and all this, and they would do empathy loads where they'd say, we need the public because we're so weak, because the West is so strong. People haven't had trauma, so they sold them low level. Oh, we're going to create trauma. Like when you go to Mars, you're not getting any gravity, so your heart is no good when you get there.
Who's organizing all this?
Well, they don't tell you. They go, oh, it's a special class you've been to. So in the 60s, they had gloves.
So there's a special class of people that are organizing all this shit.
It's the highest scores.
But is it for what purpose?
Well, you don't know.
Financial gain, social status?
Spiritual.
Jack Parsons, was he?
Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Aleister Crowley, Devil Worship. Exactly.
Okay, so wait a minute. So you're saying
Aleister
Jack
Crowley over 100 years ago.
Listen to this.
Those
How
who break
crazy is
pyramid,
this?
the aliens give the planet.
The founder of JPL, Jack Parsons. Have you heard this before?
No, I just can't believe I didn't want to have Alex on the podcast.
No, but have you ever heard that
Let me
before?
finish.
Have you
Let
ever
me
heard
finish.
that?
Just let me say this.
No.
I'm not trying to take over, but 2 years ago. But I'm not bullshitting you. Okay, I'm telling you this stuff. I don't believe in this. Okay.
There it is, right there.
It was patented in 1957. It's a VR machine.
Exactly. No, exactly.
That's crazy.
So I've talked to people, not just family. And
Gives you wind, vibration, aroma, stereo sound, color, motion, wide vision, and 3D, three-dimensional.
But let me tell you, they wore a mask in the 60s and 70s that was already like you see like paper-thin TV screens. And it was already, I talked to them, they said there's no way this was human technology.
So you've seen these foldable phones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think aliens have already taken over Samsung and Huawei.
Yeah,
See
they're
that
down
shit?
there.
Do you think the aliens are taking over Samsung? Do they have something to do with Samsung?
Well, obviously, that's what I'm telling you is the Pentagon isn't worried about
What is all this,
astronauts.
Jamie?
This is the patent.
Wow. And notice that's the weeks of the 60s.
I believe 1957.
So notice that's exactly what that's what my dad told me.
That's what our HTC Vive looks
That's
like.
what
Do we
the
have
Vive
it?
today. So Joe, this is big. My dad didn't tell me this until he saw Endgame, and he said, "No, son, we had virtual reality goggles, and we had CD-ROM, and we had things, and then something else happened, and I'm not at liberty to get into it, but I was shown 3 years ago what the University of Washington was doing under Bill Gates, and this is in the 90s.
What were they doing?
What do you do? They don't even know what they're being given. It's intravenous.
So you think it's some sort of alien intervention type shit?
Dude, they to get even deeper, they turn your heart off for 5 minutes, and they pump oxygen into your blood. And you're in the meetings. I've talked to people that are involved. I mean, top scientists. And you're in the meetings with frickin' aliens. Elves is the main group. But they're
So
like,
by shutting your heart off, it makes you have that psychedelic experience by keeping blood in your oxygen to keep you alive?
well, let's explain.
Okay.
The heart goes out, the
Right.
body thinks it's dead.
Right.
So you can stay in longer. I don't
Right.
know all the science behind it,
I understand.
but let's explain this. When
Lucky
you've
I don't
taken
either.
DMT or ayahuasca 200 times, like most of our astronauts and test pilots aren't flying planes. Those are robots now. It's all mind work. So these dudes are like, it stops working once you've taken it hundreds of times. So then they start taking their most psychic people who are able to do this, and they turn their heart off. And then they put them into these events, and it's like the things the aliens tell them, they come out and they tell scientists, and it works. So
Like what kind of shit?
they didn't tell, let me tell you, you get killed for this stuff, Joe. This is not, the only thing you want me off of here. Because when I finally figured this out, because I never touched aliens, I kind of knew the whole thing already. Here's what I'm telling you about. When I was a kid, 8, 9, whatever it was, this lady would come over that had known my parents since UT and was involved, and she'd talk about, yeah, we call it the Psychedelic Research Institute, or whatever the name was, but it's really a CIA deal, and, you know, we just can't find people that can handle it. They're going in, the elves want this, and the elves want us to basically reduce population and agree to these certain plans, and it's all of us dehumanization. And they call them the elves, the clockwork elves. And they're like, yeah, and I'm listening to my parents, you're like 7, 8 years old, like, they don't think you're listening, talking about, no, this is what the elves want, and this is what they're going to do. And the thing is, it's not my parents aren't that special. You go out to San Francisco, it's all there is, dude. It's a cult, man. All these guys you know from San Francisco, dude, you look at the head of Google or YouTube or freaking Apple, he's on TV. Tim Cook and his eyes are this big under lights, man. These guys are on stuff that, like, nobody even knows.
What do you think they're on?
Stuff they've been given. I mean, I know people at UT. They won't tell me specifically, but I was telling
Like the dude who owns YouTube? Who's that guy? What's his name?
Maybe it's a girl, you sexist pig.
No, nobody
it's like
owns
he,
Google.
him.
It's
Maybe
Alphabet. Alphabet's the parent company.
Maybe it's a Zur.
Take
It's not
Pachari.
one dude, there's not like a Jack Dorsey of YouTube?
Take Sundar Pachari. He goes in Congress. I'm there.
He's the CEO of YouTube?
He's the CEO of Google.
Google, sorry.
And he's literally on TV going, we never fix the result. We don't spy on anybody. There is no surveillance. And you've got all these old white men. And I'm not saying white men to be trendy. It's all a bunch of old dumbass white men and a couple of dumbass old Mexican and black ladies. They're all dumb, whatever color they are. Going, so you don't spy on it or control it. Meanwhile, their own prospectus to their shareholders is how they control it all and how they're going to deliver maximum profit. And Sundar's like, yes, it is true. We have never controlled the search result, and I'm just listening to pure lies. Meanwhile, this guy's only the front guy of Eric Schmidt, and God knows what they're into.
Has it been proven that Google does something to alter search results? I'm asking because I don't know. I'm not asking to fuck with you.
Yeah, no.
What did they do?
Google itself is about if you pay them, they put your results at the top. Just like Facebook.
Okay, well that's definitely altering search results. So what he said was not true. If you can pay,
It's like saying water ain't wet, Joe.
So when you look at, isn't
You
that
got
true?
two feet to move.
Where the
No,
other
we are
food.
overpopulated in some ways, though, with our technology. But let me just make this point. We got to end this.
I gotta pee so bad.
Well, go pee, come back. We'll finish 5 more minutes because I want to get into the. I gotta pee.
Talk to Eddie. Talk some sense into
I
him.
got to piss
Oh
too.
my God, here we go. Tell me about Buzz Aldrin. Tell me about your boy Buzz Aldrin.
You know, I'll tell you about Buzz Aldrin. He told me.
Jesus Christ.
I gotta piss too.
I know where you going, man? Okay, it's gonna be Browns.
Infowars.com.
ClevelandBrowns.com. I'm here
Go
live
to
with
Infowars.com.
No, they can't both live.
Jamie.
Eddie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. So, what do you think about the wide receiver of the Browns?
I don't think we can turn the talk to Browns talk right now.
No,
Unfortunately.
Is there any conspiracy theory that you kind of are suspicious of? There's got to be at least one.
Yeah, there's definitely. I'm
Like
not,
which one? Like 9/11. 9/11. You think? Are you familiar with Tower 7?
Yeah, I would say from almost every story, even the stuff we've talked about before in the past, I don't believe the official, in quotes.
Okay. So
story.
you know that Tower 7 was the third tower that went down. You're aware of that, right?
Yeah, I look more when that comes up. All of the surrounding information about what was in the buildings, not the actual event. I know the event happened. I'm not so curious about that.
But did you see the video of Tower 7 just go falls
sure.
at free fall
Yeah.
speed? That's got to be a little suspicious, right?
Yeah.
A red flag got to come up, at least, right? If you're really trying to get to the truth, you're like, wait a minute.
I would say it's more suspicious that a third building fell that wasn't.
It wasn't even hit.
But,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's what the whole story is with Tower 7. And not only was it not touched by a plane, it went down at free fall speed and it's caught on video at 5 different angles, right? There's 5 different angles. No one's saying that it's fake footage. That's Tower 7, a 47-story skyscraper fucking falling at free fall speed. Some people are saying it got hit with a direct energy weapon. Some people are saying that it was brought down like a controlled demo like in Vegas, like one of those buildings, you know. But regardless of how it was brought down, you got to look at that video footage and go, wait a minute.
And why is YouTube taking down Building 7 footage?
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing about Building 7.
Footage. Why are they going after Flat
I was
Earth?
on syndicated radio on like 50 stations in 2001, and I'm sitting there. That's actually, I was on 120 stations. So I lost like 70% of for saying it was an inside job. I didn't mean the firemen blew it up. I'm watching Fox News, CNN at my studio. And then I go get a pizza at 4 o'clock with CBS Radio back then. And they go, Solomon Brothers, Building 7 is going to be brought down to controlled demolition to save other buildings. So I go back on air and announce Building 7 is being brought down to save other buildings. And for like 5 years, everyone goes, I'm crazy. Then CNN and all of them archive it on the internet. Everyone's watching Building 7. BBC, ABC,
Let me ask you,
CNN.
what do you think happened with Tower 7?
CNN, ABC, and CBS told me the government blew it up.
The government
I
blew
mean,
it
you can
up.
play the clips. They go, the cops are like, get back, we're blowing it up. And the media goes, oh, you mean the cops blew it up? No, the cops are told, get back on the countdown. I've interviewed the cops like 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Explain to me, do you think that they had detonations set up already in the building?
See,
when
that's where this
constructed?
goes next, Joe, which I used to always like try to follow down what it means. I don't know. I've learned to go, hey, I've got 5 different newscasts when it happened and before saying they blew it up. I don't know what happened.
Is it possible that it collapsed because of those gigantic diesel fires, right? And then
That was Tower 1 and 2. 7's its own building.
Seven had a diesel,
You're right, had diesel bunker.
tanks in the basement,
Called a
and they
bunker.
caught fire. They said it was an inferno. And they said it cooked through
So
the
see
internal...
how he knows all this?
Hold on a second.
It's always,
But I want to ask you this because I don't know.
oh, yeah, right.
But they said that what happened was, this is whoever the fuck explained it that, you know, was making these YouTube videos, that the fire had burnt through the internal structure of the building at such a high temperature that all of these floors collapsed. They pancaked. And then it came
But
down.
it never happened before or since.
Right, never hasn't happened before or since. That's a fact.
Joe,
But here's the thing about
the
this.
Alex Jones 18 years ago would argue every point and say I knew what happened.
Okay.
The Alex Jones of 2019 is honest.
Well, I'm glad you're
And I'm going to say, I've seen them say they blew it up and nobody can describe it. I don't know, Joe, what happened?
Right. Well, when you look at it, the way it falls exactly like a controlled demolition. Exactly. So it falls from the top down, but if you actually
And free fall speed.
Right, but if you watch the full video, the center of it collapses. Like there's a full video where you're looking at the top of the building, and the center of it collapses far before the outside does.
That's how they take out the elevator
They
shafts
take out the
first.
central thing first.
And
So
then they light up the rest of the...
Do they do this with? Do they have it all set in advance so they knew that 9/11 was going to come in 2
you
weeks?
just answered my question.
We're gonna
I
get these-
don't know.
Right.
And what they do is they take like some clip of me from 20 years ago or 18 years ago going, here's CBS News, and they don't show it. I mean, I've got CBS, I've got...
Is it possible that even though Operation Northwoods happened, Gulf of Tonkin was a conspiracy, is it possible that the internal fires in that building were so unbelievably hot that it fucked up every floor and they really did pancake on top of each other, and then the exterior structure just collapsed? Is that possible? Because I'm not an engineer.
I've had the engineers say it's not.
It's not possible at all.
And here's the problem, Joe. They announced it fell on its own footprint 27 minutes before it did on 5 channels. BBC World,
That's true.
BBC, CNN, CNN, and CBS. Joe, I like to eat food.
I do too.
It was 4 o'clock. I've been on air since the morning on syndicated radio. I drove down to the local pizza place at 4 o'clock, got my pizza, was eating it in the car, and I heard CBS radio driving home. And they said, the decision has been made to save other buildings to control demolition of the Solomon Brothers building, Building 7. By the way, we have these clips now. But no one archives stuff then, so I go on air and I go, yeah, they just blew up a building. Everybody started freaking out,
But here's the thing.
and then they blew it up.
How long does it take to set up explosives to the point where you can paint?
It normally takes a week.
A
And
week?
that was the next story. But then I interviewed the head of emergency management for New York.
Yeah.
And the loose change people got him on. And he says, no, I was there. They had bombs. The CIA. You know it was based in Building 7, right? The CIA, the FBI, all of it.
Wasn't it NSA as well?
Everything. See, he always says, oh, he knows it. I'm not just kissing Joe's ass. Like, he's beyond
Joe
Alex
knows
Jones.
what's up.
He's no, it's bullshit, man.
No,
I mean, you know every
things.
fucking thing, dude. Just fucking say it yourself. No.
Why don't you explain it to everybody?
Oh, yeah, you're on. Wasn't the NSA there, too? It was like,
You did a better job than
40 fucking stories of fucking government.
Right.
So there's 40.
With a diesel tank and pre-rigged explosives in case shit hits
Dude,
the fan.
I wasn't
Imagine
sure
that.
then, even though I heard CBS say they blew it up, and even though, and like the news will go, Jones says firefighters blew it up, because the government, same thing, point you made is a good point. Like I'm saying, the government, no, I don't mean my grandpa was in the army.
If it really did pancake from the fire, what a shit design.
Yeah.
What a terrible design. I'd be so mad at that architect.
Well, those were the debates from Underwriting Laboratories, because everyone went and looked at the blueprints.
Yeah.
And it's New York, and I'm not defending what you're saying, because 7 was built well, it was looked at by lawsuits. They were sued. Tower 1 and 2, though, they were built with like bubble gum and like band-aids.
Really?
Those buildings were already leaning.
Oh, no.
It was a big mob scam. Yeah,
Oh, no.
They already
They
had
were fucking leaning?
They already had buckling in the wind.
Oh,
And they had
no.
mathematicians guess that within like 5 years, one building would collapse.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
So there goes your argument. It's New York. These buildings are built for shit. And that's when as you get older, you go,
Some of them are built for shit, right? For sure, right?
I mean,
Especially back then. When
what is inside your bag? You have more tobacco?
No, I do have more tobacco, but I'm just.
Can I have a little bit more tobacco?
Yes, for sure.
I'm just hitting on.
You know who Dr. Judy Wood is?
No, I do know.
Yeah, she's got Dr. Judy Wood wrote a book called "Where Did the Towers Go?"
Yeah, particle
And her
stuff.
theory is this is just some lady, scientist lady.
No, I know.
says
She said
that-
it was a
said-
federal
said
agent, but I don't believe her.
based on the
I've
fact
heard
that there was, this is what she claims, based on the video
Her and Fetzer?
and the pictures that she has of where the towers
By
collapsed.
the way, I'm
She's
tired
saying
of Fetzer speaking for me. Sorry.
she's saying that there was no rubble. The name of the book is called "Where Did the Towers Go?" She said that direct energy weapons, some kind of direct energy
Yeah.
weapons, dustified the buildings, turned the buildings to dust because there was no rubble.
A dude gave me a book on that.
Have you
He's
seen
like,
that?
You
It's
gotta
crazy.
read this. He's like,
In
yeah,
Australia?
they
In Australia?
No, he's in America. He was in LA. He told me they use Tesla technology. I was like, what? He gave me
I'm
this
not
book.
saying you're wrong to ask that question.
You know what? For me, it doesn't matter if it was justified or they
But
blew
I
them
have
up
been
Las
accused-
Vegas style.
I have
It
been
doesn't matter.
accused- here's the
Those
thing.
buildings, in my opinion,
In
got
Sandy
blown
Hook,
up.